it's me, host Super Sorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. Look what I got! I got the Armorer from the Credit Collection. This is from that weird repainted collection, basically, from Hasbro. I believe they called it the Credit Collection. And we have the Armorer. So this is the second version, I think technically it's the third of the Armorer. They gave us the Comic-Con version, or the HasCon version, which had the fur collar, which is the one that I've got, which is this one, that came with this fur cloth piece on the back. Then they released her again without this cloth piece, but with a hard plastic piece. And then this is the third, I think, in version of it, and this is based on the Credit Collection, based on the credits of the actual TV series. So at the end of every episode, there's like pictures of the characters done in like an oil painting style. And that's what these are based upon. So the colour schemes are based on that piece of artwork at the end of Mandalorian. So these figures are very nice. I do like them. They are a bit odd coloured, but I do like them because they're different enough that you can get away with having them in the background as different characters. So like, if I was going to do a scene with the Armorer, you could take the cloth piece off the back of this one and use her in the background as like an alternate, like another Armorer, like an assistant Armorer or something. And with them being different coloured, it kind of looks good. But yeah, the figure itself is very nice. So let's jump straight down to the desk cam, where you guys can get an up-close personal look at the Credit Collection Armorer. Alright guys, well here she is out of the packaging, looking absolutely awesome. I do really like this figure. Let's draw her in a little bit more so we can get a bit up-close and personal with this figure. She is so good. I do love this figure a lot. So, this is the Star Wars Black Series line, first of all, as you must know, and this is from the Credit Collection, which means it's based on the credits of the actual television series episodes. But not only that, they also give you a piece of credit inside of the packaging, so we do have a nice gold piece of credit here that goes with her figure. So I'd really hope somebody out there can 3D print more of these, because I would love to use them when playing Star Wars card games. That'd be very cool to have our own Star Wars like money and ignotin pieces to use credits. But the figure itself, other than the fact that it's not got the fur piece, this is basically the same version that we got originally. So it comes with all the same pieces. So it comes with the tools, and it also comes with the backpack. So she does come with the backpack that she gives to Mando. This one is painted in a nice bluey silver colour with like a little bit of a white gleam going over the top of that. You can sort of see like the white bits in the paint, which is kind of cool. Makes it kind of shine. Like silvery look almost, kind of cool. And then we got the 3 pins to fit into the back of the Mandalorian figure. Now, the best part is this is just a cast of the one that does come in Mandalorian, so it will fit onto the figure if you did want to use any of these with your Mandos. You know, the backpack will work with any of the Mandos that have that 3-pin kind of go on it. And they do stick very well. The actual armor, if we turn her around, we can take this piece off. This just pops off, but she doesn't have the hole in the back piece to be able to use this herself. So sadly, this is of no use to use with her, even if you wanted to have an action-orientated version of her character. We can't, sadly. We would need some serious modification. Now, I don't mind this like brown piece, but if I was to use her in dioramas with the other character, so if I was going to have both of these women together in a diorama, I would definitely take this piece off. And she almost feels like she could be a youngling or like an armor apprentice that's working alongside her, you know, learning the ways of building Mandalorian armor. So like I would probably have that off most of the time, but it does look pretty cool. It does slot in and out very easily. So looking at the figure itself, we've got lots of articulation to go through. So the head is on a ball joint. You can make it look up, down, left and right with pivot in the head. The arms lift up at the side hinge here, which also, which is hindered a little bit by the back piece. It does pop off when you try and do that. So let's move that off for now. But yeah, her arm does lift up at the side hinge and also rotate. Single sliding hinged elbows, but do bend in pretty well. And the hands are on ball joints. You can crunch her around at her abdomen, waist crunch there, which is nice, and also swivel. So yeah, plenty of movement there. Ooh, the arms are very stiff, but that's a good thing. We don't want loose figures. There is a break at the side here, so that won't affect the leg articulation. As you can see, she does have a top thigh cut there that you can rotate around. She has single hinge knees, but they're pretty well decent knees that also rotate. And the feet are on rocker and pivot. She does have display peg holes at the front part of the foot, so you can use a display base with this figure. Not that you're going to need to. She does feel very sturdy, to be honest. There's no wobble really in there. The figures used to be very wobbly once upon a time, but Black Series do seem to have stabilized that wobble in a lot of the figures now. Now, the best part about the figure is she does come with more tools. Now, that's one of the reasons I did buy this figure, not only for the new, for the re-release of the armorer and a slightly different variant colour scheme, to use in dioramas and things, like I say. There is other uses for this figure, which is cool, because she does come with the pieces from the first one, which is the big silver hammer, which looks very cool. And she does also come with the, tweezer set as well, like the, what do you call these? Like the tongs to get things off the fire. So that's very cool. The other one as well, I think, came with a beaten sort of Mandalorian helmet as well for it to look like she was making something. I think that came special in the box set version that we got with the fur collar. I do like my the fur collared version. I do like that one, don't get me wrong. But yeah, a lot of people missed out on that one. But I think the standard release is just as good. This one does have the same problem, though, that the original one has for me, which is the fact that the hands are so stiff. Trying to get things in them is just a nightmare without nearly breaking the figure in half. Well, there we go. She has now got that piece in the hand. And then the other one you have just as much trouble with. But I found that if you just push the tongs together and just kind of slide them in together, then you won't cause any issues with them. Then you can kind of have her with her tools that also she used as weapons, to be fair, when she was fighting Mando or training him to use the dark saber. She kind of used these weapons against him, which was kind of cool. I did enjoy that. Her using the tongs on his helmet and stuff was pretty cool. But you see, using her without that back piece on, I think is very decent looking. She doesn't miss anything from not having it on. If anything, she looks more streamlined to me. So I do get the appeal of not using it. But there's the backpack piece to use that she has as well. Let me just pop the fur collar back on and show her side by side with her sister in armour. Here's the other one. So side by side, they do look pretty good, and I think they do look different enough with different colour schemes, as I say, to get away with using them as different characters. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Would you ever use this as a second armourer? If you were making a diorama scene, would you like to have her in the background and obviously use the armourer that we know in the forefront talking to Mando or something? I think that could be pretty cool. You could have her hammering away at some helmet in the background, which could be pretty cool. Of course, this older piece does not come off. I wish it did. I wish this was just a Velcro piece or something so we could use it on other figures, but sadly, they made pretty sure that we couldn't get that off without breaking it, which is a shame. But guys, what are your thoughts on this armourer figure? Let us know in the comments below. But let's head on back to the main cam and finish off this video. But guys, what are your thoughts on this figure? Let us know in the comments down below. If you did enjoy today's video, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Subscribing really supports us. It really helps us out and helps us to keep making awesome videos. And if you did enjoy this video today, tune in later on because I will be doing the credit collection Mandalorian as well to round out the credit collection series that I've done before we move on to the box stuff. But yes, I've got plenty of videos coming up this week, all Star Wars Black Series, as we're ticking off the ones that we've never reviewed and figures we need to complete our collection. As you guys know, by the end of this series of videos, I should hopefully have every Black Series figure both in my collection on display around this room, and also I should have them reviewed on this channel with a video. Every figure should have its own individual review. So I'm going to be going through my reviews, and if I find any of them that I've done multiple reviews, as if I've done a review with different characters and things like that, I will be going back and giving it its own single review, just so that I can say that I've reviewed and I own every single figure in the Black Series line. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be fun, and I hope you guys are along for the journey. But once again, thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm your host, Soup Sorrel, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, may the Force be with you. Bye!